Hey, I'm heading down to the local animal control to check on that rabbit that disappeared from their site, and I got the bad feeling that it was put down. But I gotta go down there because I don't seem to get anywhere on the phone. So let's take a ride down there and see if that rabbit's still there. Well, unfortunately, that rabbit, the white one with the pink eyes and the dark ears, was euthanized. Now, their reason is that she had some health problems. But I don't know what degree of health problems gets you a death sentence there. This is the reason I don't care for animal controls, local pounds, because if you're not a really friendly and really healthy, bright-eyed animal, they're not going to deal with you. And you know, I had called and said I was interested in this rabbit, that if she had some problems, because obviously she had some problems. She looked like she was neglected, she was dumped out, she was covered in mud, she was dirty, and you know, hair missing off her nose. Perhaps she'd been, you know, she might not even have been a stray. She might have been something that was seized as an animal neglect case. But I was willing to adopt this rabbit and to get her the vet care she needed. But, you know, they say, well, we can't put animals on hold. I don't want you to put the animal on hold for me, okay? I just want a note on there saying somebody's willing to take on this animal. But, you know, the regulations and the way things are done sometimes just don't make sense to me. So she was euthanized. And this is the reason I would never take a found animal down to animal control. Because first of all, if they're not friendly, like you have a cat that's scared to death, you know, I mean, they're scared. They might not come around for a few weeks. And that's just too long. You know, you better be friendly really fast at these places, or you get the needle. And the other thing is, you know, animal could have a little sniffles, something that could be cured, a little respiratory that could be cured with a 2-week antibiotic, a run of antibiotics. But they're not going to mess with that. So, you know, you got a little sniffle, you get the needle. And that kind of bothers me, but when it comes right down to it, who you have to blame are all the people. You got to blame the public. You got to blame all these people who neglect and who dump their animals. Because they're overwhelmed down there. You know, they can get 20 animals a day. They can get more than 20 a day. They can get 30 or 40 stray animals a day. And it's really sad. But I wish they'd work with people a little bit more, you know, that are willing to take on an animal like this. But I knew that I had a feeling that she had been put down when she disappeared from the site. And there's several other rabbits there, but like I say, they're waiting in a limbo. He said, well, they're waiting the 5-day waiting period. And I said, well, some of them have been there for 9 or 11 days. You know, so, and then they pretend like they don't know what I'm talking about. Well, they have to wait. They have to wait for the owners, if the owners are going to claim them. But you know what, they've been there. So so I said, now if these rabbits are healthy, right, will they be put up for adoption? And they said yes. But what constitutes healthy? You know, what constitutes healthy? If they got a little fur missing on their nose, does that constitute unhealthy? If they got a little skin condition or something, does that constitute unhealthy? Even though it could be easily cured with medications. So it was not a good day going down there, but I had to go down and see what was going on because I just wasn't getting anywhere on the phone. So let's see what happens with these other rabbits. We'll see if they show up on their adoption page or not. You know, for myself, I'll do everything I can if I find an animal to locate an owner that's looking for the animal. This local animal control here, they have on their site where you can upload a photo or a description of your lost animal in case someone's seen them around. You know, I'll go on the sites. There's different sites. Well, here in Wisconsin, there's like a site for lost cats. There's, you know, and you can upload a picture of your animal and where it was lost. But if the people that lost the animal are not making any effort at all to find the animal, then I'm not going to turn it in. I don't care what the laws are. I'm not going to turn it in. Because, you know, then you risk that you turn it in and they'll say, well, you have the first opportunity to adopt the animal. But, you know, they're going to look at it and say, oh, this cat, he's got a little runny nose. Unhealthy. Get the needle. So, you know, I would not even trust that. I would not even trust it. And I don't care. Like I said, I'd make every effort I could. If someone's looking for an animal, I will drive that pet right back to their house. But if nobody's looking for this animal, and they're not even, you know, the thing is, the least you can do is upload a picture on the local animal control site or the local Humane Society site. Or you could put flyers out in your neighborhood. For God's sakes, go run off 50 flyers and put them around in your neighborhood. People that can't even do that, they don't even deserve to have a pet. That's just my feeling, and I don't care what anyone else thinks. You know, if you're going to let your animal out, it can get lost accidentally. You're going to be upset. You're going to be trying to find it. And if you're not trying to find it, you're just like, oh, well, maybe he'll show up at the local animal control. You know what? You don't deserve to have an animal. You know, one time in the past, we found a stray cat in our neighborhood, and he was a hungry cat. He obviously was someone's house cat, but he was hungry, and he had bad diarrhea. And I put a post on our local neighborhood media, social media site, and basically said, cat found. And I told where it was found, and I said, send me a message to identify your cat. Right? You see that? Oh, I lost my cat. I'll tell you what he looks like, and maybe it's my cat. So then I get all these yahoos on this site saying, well, you got to post a picture of the cat. And I said, I'm not posting a picture of this cat. I'm not going to post a picture of the cat, because then anybody can say, oh, that's my cat. And who the hell knows who it is? You know, it could be some weirdo who says, oh, yeah, that's my cat. You know, don't post pictures of the cat. The people who lost the cat know what the cat looks like. They can tell you what the cat looks like, okay? If I found a cat that was black with a black spot on his nose and was all white and had a little bit of red near his tail, then the owners are going to be able to tell me that, and I'll say, oh yeah, that's your cat that you're looking for, and I'll drive him right over to your house. But it's very dangerous to post a picture and then have some weirdo say, oh yeah, that's my cat, and then they get it and they end up doing, you know, things to it, torturing it, or using it for training fighting dogs, which does happen. You never know with people. They can look very sincere, and they might have a lot of... We had this Jeffrey Dalmer, you know, in the southeastern Wisconsin, Milwaukee area. He looked just like a swell guy, just a nice, kind, you know, guy. You'd see him on the street, say, oh, that's a real, just gentle guy. Oh, yeah. He was torturing animals and eating people. You never know. You never know what people are like. So anyway, I got all these people saying, you got to take this cat down to animal control. And I thought, I'm not taking the cat down to animal control. If somebody lost a cat, they're going to see it on this site if they're looking. And I'm looking, meanwhile, on all the sites where you post pictures of your lost animals, including the animal control site, where you can, for free, post a picture of your missing animal. Or if you don't have a picture, you can post a description, you know, and tell where he was last lost. And for this cat, there was none of that. Nobody was looking for this cat. And the cat also had a condition that needed to be treated. So we ended up keeping the cat. But like I said, I don't trust animal control, and I sure don't trust people that, you know, there's a lot of weird people out there, and you really have to be careful. You know, when this Jeffrey Dalmer story first broke, this was long before cell phones and internet, I was going downtown to a teaching seminar, and I was supposed to pick up another teacher and give her a ride down there. And I heard this on the car radio. It was early in the morning. So when she got in the car, I just said to her, "Did you hear about the man who kept human heads in his refrigerator?" And she just burst out laughing, because I often told stupid jokes at school, and said, "No, I didn't hear about the man who kept heads in his refrigerator." And I said, "No, it's not a joke." I said, they just found human heads that this guy was keeping in his refrigerator. And this was the beginning of this whole Dalmer thing. But Jeffrey Dalmer, he used to pick up free animals, and animals that perhaps he claimed as his own that were found. He admitted to that. And he used to torture them. And this was before he started eating people. But yet, he looked like just a normal guy. And he was a monster. So, you can't trust appearances. And when it comes to an animal that you might have found, you have to make sure that they're getting back to the proper owner, if they're going to get back to the proper owner. And that means you let the people describe the animal to you. And don't post pictures of it. So many people do that. It's not a wise thing to do. Well, it didn't turn out the way I had hoped. But, you know, there's nothing you can do about it sometimes. I was particularly interested in that bunny because she looked like such a hard luck case. Just been abused and abandoned, and, you know, my heart goes out to these animals in particular that look, you know, they're not so cute, and they've been through a lot. But I just have to accept what happened. And, you know, sometimes I question whether I should even get another bunny, because we have limited space. You know, it's just a house. And I really don't have too much room for another pen. I wish Eddie Mars and Miss Lydia would bond, because then they could live in the same pen, and that was my hope. I'm going to show you something. They were sitting with their heads together in the kitchen.
Be nice, be nice. No fighting. No fighting. You could be friends with her.
But they haven't bonded where they're grooming each other. And Eddie Mars still give her a chase, you know, around. She gets a little scared of him. There is a pigeon that came in to a shelter that's about 35 miles away, and he's sitting at a humane society, and I think I'm going to take him. They're not open today, but they are open tomorrow, because I do have an extra pigeon cage that's empty, which I did intend for another pigeon someday. So this guy, he's a downed homer, and obviously the owners didn't want him back, and he's sitting at the shelter, and I think I'm going to head down there tomorrow and pick him up.